Hi, and welcome to Cat Run Figures. I'm your host, Caitlin, and today, since it is the new year, I decided to start it off right, and I'm going to start it off with a comic book review. So this is Phoenix Resurrection, issue 1, and I thought I would dive a little bit more into the comics. So first off, this is the lenticular cover for it, which honestly, it doesn't actually do anything. It's just kind of a feeling of the book. When we start off the story, we get to see in a small town in Hudson, New York, there is something very bad going on. And there's a child who is incapacitated on the ground with blood around her. Two other teens approach her and they're wondering, is she okay? Does she need help? Is she dead? And the girl lifts her head up and says something that the children can't quite make out. But if you're reading, you can read it backwards and see that it says, "We were better off dead." So then a bunch of weird things start to happen, and a redheaded individual, who I'm pretty sure is Phoenix, showed up, and she starts basically chasing the kids. That's a pretty general way to put it. So 2 hours later, the X-Men show up at the same place, and they're looking into the kind of mutiny weird things that are going on here. Mutiny weird things meaning children being attacked and, unexplained things. Well, there's something really weird going on with Rachel, and Nightcrawler is the one who notices it when she herself repeats backwards, "better off dead." And she starts to have a really bad nosebleed, and Nightcrawler has to get her out of the situation. While Kitty and her team are still looking into what exactly is going on, when they notice the floating children. Yeah, floating children. It's kind of a weird mutiny thing.
You mean levitating?
Insert Caitlin glaring at Mark. So, this is the start of Phoenix Resurrection.
Yeah!
So, very excited about this. Continuing on, hours later, back at the Xavier Institute for Mutant Education and Outreach, we get to see basically all of the big teams for mutants all teamed up together, and they're there to hear what Kitty has to tell them about the whole mutant situation. So basically just telling them about the levitating children and the fact that there are weird happenings going on throughout the world. And basically there's 3 core points that all culminate in one area. So they are going to break off into their individual teams for their individual titles and check these out. Moving on, we get to see Kitty's team going up against the former Hellfire Club. We get to see the young X-Men with Rogue going up against this weird monster that can suck out your life force. And in the North Pole, we get to see X-Force going up against a young Wolverine. So there's a bunch of fighting that ensues, a bunch of really great moments here. I really don't want to ruin this for anyone who hasn't already read the comic, so I'm not going to tell you everything that's happening, clearly. But I'd probably say my favorite fight is X-Force versus the young Wolverine. He approaches and Domino just shoots him right in the middle of the head. Old man Logan calls her out on it, and she's just like, well, obviously he's not the real you. A bunch of really great moments happen here throughout the fights, and ultimately it culminates into all of the threats disappearing. And of course they're all confused because it seemed as if they were all losing their fights one-on-one. until a bright light starts to emanate from the sky. And this is not good. So, what exactly is the bright light that they see? It's the phoenix. So, elsewhere in the States, we get to see Jean Grey, and she is working as a waitress at this diner. And as everyone else is seeing the phoenix light from the sky, she's basically like, I didn't see it. I don't know what she's talking about. Continuing on into Jean Grey's life, we get to see her with her family, this weird kind of perfect, almost Stepford-ish life. Until there's a knock on her door and she answers it. And we get a huge reveal as Cyclops, the OG Scott, is back. And that's where they leave us off in the last panel for Phoenix Resurrection. I'm really excited about the story moving forward. I know I've picked up a ton of variant covers for this, and I'm looking at what could possibly come out for the later issues, but I'm really, really excited to see the return of Jean Grey and not just the young, time-displaced Jean Grey that we've come and known. Yeah, as always, guys, give me a like if you like this video. Comment below and tell me whether or not you read Phoenix Resurrection issue 1 and whether or not you enjoyed it as much as I did. Were you expecting that reveal at the very end? I know we were all expecting Jean Grey, but Scott's back. As always, subscribe for more comic book content or check out any of the older videos I have up for offer here on Cat Run Figures. And until next time, I'm your host, Caitlin. Bye.